Hey everyone, so Ford has officially opened the application process for the 2025 Ford Mustang GTD. Now, for those that don't know, Ford is becoming much more heavily involved in motorsports than before, and they're going to be building the most track-focused, street-legal Mustang ever produced. Now, a lot of people at face value are saying, oh, this is just an S650 Mustang, but underneath, there is a lot of unique and proprietary technology going into this car. You're talking a modified GT500 engine, a transaxle, meaning the transmission's at the back of the car for better weight distribution, carbon ceramic brakes, active aero, inboard mounted suspension, carbon fiber body. This is by far the most unique and proprietary Ford Mustang built with a lot of racing technology. Now, as you would expect, in order to make such a unique and incredible car, it's going to come with an extremely steep price tag. Initial estimates from Ford were $300,000 starting MSRP. When the application process opened, that price had increased to $325,000 starting price. That is significantly more expensive than a lot of the direct competitors that Ford is going after, but what is unique about this car is this is going to be an application-only process like the Ford GT was. So no matter how deep your pockets are, you cannot walk into a Ford dealer and buy this car. You have to apply directly to Ford Motor Company to be selected to own one of these cars. You basically have to go onto the Ford website and apply. When you open the application process, the first page has a bunch of boxes to check, and that's going to set up how the application goes from there. They could ask things like what Fords and Mustangs you have previously owned or own right now. Are you involved in motorsports? Are you a car collector? Are you involved in charities? And then they're going to go into more detail wanting to know information from there. What Ford vehicles you've owned before, now, how long you own them, how you use them, things like that. Are you on social media? How do you use your social media platform? Are your cars showcased on social media? Probably if you're a collector, what kind of cars you have and do you use them? Things like that. They basically want to get a good idea who you are, what Fords you've owned, and how you use and showcase your vehicle. So that kind of seems like how the application is. And at the end of the application process, they want a 60-second video for you to explain why you should own this car. So the application process, from what I can see, looks to be very similar to the Ford GT application. That's what a lot of people were speculating, and that seems to be pretty much true. The questions are very similar to the Ford GT. Now, there's still a lot of information that we need to learn about this vehicle. Ford has not released all of the specifications of this car yet. They've hinted at some basic information. They're talking at least 800 horsepower, a sub 7-minute Nürburgring time. So this car is going to be extremely fast, regardless of what the final specs are. We also don't know what the inside of the car looks like. They've shown some exterior photos, but we don't know what the interior setup and layout is going to be yet, as well as the options. They were talking initially, some of the speculation was titanium exhaust, a flat panel for the bottom of the car, possibly a paint to sample program for the car, things like that. So there's going to be a few options with the car, but we just don't know exactly what they're going to be and how expensive they're going to be, if there are any options for the car. Now, there is a lot of conflicting information out there on various media outlets. The initial estimates for the car were approximately 1,000 to 2,000 cars. We don't know yet. That number is always subject to change. Like the Ford GT, they ended up building more than initial estimates. Same thing as the location where it's going to be built. Initially, there was talks of the Multimatic facility in Canada. Now I'm seeing Flat Rock, Michigan, possibly. Again, we don't know. It's still very early on in the phase. And then how long they're going to build the car for. They built the Ford GTs over a 5-year period. This is going to be the same. We just don't know yet, and how many cars are going to be produced each year is going to set up basically the timeline of how long they're going to build the cars for. So my hopes are that this car is put into the hands of people that will actually drive and showcase these cars. I'm hoping that Ford puts in the effort to keep these out of the hands of flippers and people that are going to tuck these cars away in a garage and they're never going to see the light of day again. They're going to leave all the original wrappings on them from the factory. They're going to be tucked away and never driven and probably sold years later for a profit. I hope that those people don't get these cars, because there's a lot of speculation that if you got a Ford GT, you're going to get a Mustang GTD. I don't think that should automatically be true, because there's a lot of Ford people that got Ford GTs that flip them for money or put them for sale years later, and basically they never drove them once. They just are selling them with the original wrapping on them. So I hope those people don't get the cars, and that they really put these these cars into the hands of people that are going to drive them and showcase them to the general public, show what this car is about, show these to basically everybody that doesn't own one. So this will probably be primarily a street-driven car, as a lot of these super expensive cars are. I'm sure a few of them will make it on track, but for the most part, it's going to be street-driven just because of how expensive of a car it is. But give this to people that will actually take this out of their garage and drive this car and show it to the rest of the world. So there is no minimum time frame for ownership that I saw on the Ford website. With the Ford GT, you had to own the car for a minimum of 2 years before you could sell it. I'm guessing this is going to be something similar. Maybe further in the application process, they're going to bring that information to light, but we'll have to see when that information comes to fruition. But the application, like I said, it's open right now. They're talking starting to build the cars end of 2024, and they'll start coming out around beginning of 2025. If you want to have the opportunity to own a Mustang GTD, you have 1 month to do it. The application process, as of right now, for the North American market closes on May 20th. So if you want to have the chance to own this car, you have to go onto the Ford website and apply directly to Ford Motor Company to have the opportunity to own this car. I'm going to be applying for this car, and we'll see what happens. Hopefully they see my social media, they see that I drive, use, and showcase my cars, and maybe I'll have a chance, and we'll see how it goes from there. So I'll keep everyone posted, but if you want to have the chance to own a Mustang GTD, now is your chance. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching.